Hi everyone, today in this video we're gonna develop another mental model that obviously has a paper to increase your decision making process since as best so you are in having information about the world that you're living it, you're gonna so have a higher ability to predict so how the world can work. And then so if you get and you grasp all the type of informations that what it can be called the mental model are like representations about how the reality works, then so you're gonna have a higher probability to solve the problems since you have so best information in your side. Can be a competitive advantages if you're looking in a competitive field as a business or whatever is the area that you want to get prosperity. You have so to get better than other ones, and for that you're gonna have two tools that helps so you to take best decisions. So I already expect you to help me by subscribing and afterwards seeing other videos to make you so a better person, to gain you more insights. And then so today we're gonna talk about a specific mental model of the field of creativity and innovation that's called constraints as a driving so force that can help you to boost the creativity. So unlocking innovation through limitations can be a paradox, but you're gonna so try to understand it better. So what could be a first question to understand this mental model is, what if the secret of groundbreaking ideas isn't unlimited freedom, but the very constraints that seem to hold you back? So an example that I will give to you is like imagining a world where tight deadlines, limited resources, and strict rules aren't obstacles. They're the fuel for creativity in reality. So if you see the majority of the innovations that we have done were made in a world that what existed? Existed limited resources, tight deadlines. We have passed for so much events as wars, as other type of social movements, but we're still at ability to manage to create. And it's something that as well applies in your life. If you kind of will so not get your life cutting wise, so if you're not so re-aged to 80s, 90s, and obviously you got older, the reality is that you will not so get a drive to make you wake up and do the things because you know that you have a finished life, so you're not going to live forever. And then so that's why can be called as a thing that's so it makes you have so not have like had limited time to do the things. It's a limitation that is so the time is a resources that's limited, but that makes you so what makes you so have the motivation to act and doing things at some good rate because you know that it's not gonna last forever. So probably if you have unlimited time of to life, probably will not have that forces. You will not so produce, you will not do good things, you will not so gain money, you will not so go to the college learning because you now you will not so get like this specific scarcity that is so your time since it will last forever. But as you have then so you're kind of feeling that you're gonna try to enjoy it as best as possible. And then so it's one of good examples for how limitations sometimes can fuel us to do things. And do a thing is as well so be creativity, having creativity in your side. And then so definitions, constraints driven creativity is so mental model to create. So sometimes you can yourself you can put barriers, you can limit, may create limitations and try so to understand if so you're gonna have like a higher type of rate of creativity. Can be like so a example then. So if even if it's look as a paradox, the reality is that when we face endless options we often experience choice paralysis. So the paradox of choice as well is a factor that we have to see. When you have so much option about how to do, you don't have like a emotion. You never feel that you're doing the best option. You're gonna have always with a good feeling. Then you should and you could so find better things. When you make so limitations, we make so create limitations about what you can do. Yeah, the reality is that sometimes you so bad in the small type of options that you can have which is so something that can be uh, in terms of hand goal, you're going to so produce something that's more valuable than you would if you kind of grasp and you make divisions between your attention between all the choices that exist. And that's something that we tend to see today. By we having so much things to do, people doesn't get are not like specialization. They don't have like specialization in some particular areas. And then so obviously what I called Cal, that is a world that is kind of ruled by the winner takes all, that the majority of like the minority of the majorities of the jobs, the minority of the people that works in that jobs is the one that takes the most money as possible, because we want the best of something. When you look for a problem that you have, so in terms of health, you look for the best health treatment, and then so it's normally made by the best people that have most knowledge about. And then so these ones have patents in their pills, in that type of treatments, and they're gonna sort of save exponentially more money than other ones that are not the best. And then so that's why it's good to you to test. So in the early stage of your life, you testing, you have so the ability to experimentate, but then so focus and specialize after this testing, having count what you do like more, what the world needs more, and then so having creativity all allocated, creativity, mental energy, all allocated to the same type of activity. That's where so can be called as the best thing that you can do, based in obviously having experimentation have happened first. And then so now coming back from the problem, what could be so examples of the how constraints boost creativity? We have the tweeters, the character limit of Twitter. So the constraint forces users to distill their thoughts and communicate concisely, often resulting in powerful memorable messages. Instead of, if doesn't exist character limit, we have seen like tweets with a lot of information, almost like a book. We have the NASA's Apollo 13 mission with life-threatening challenges and limited supplies. The team devised innovative, improved solutions that save the crew. And that's other thing, because when we don't have like a limited type of tools, we're less efficient using so the tools. If they're limited, we tend to give our best by trying so to maximize their usage. Minimalist type of art as well, so it's a tendency that we're seeing today. Artists working with few colors or minimal strokes often produces pieces that are striking and profound, proving that less sometimes can be more. So in constraints is maximizing the time, the resources that we spend, but so increasing the output value that we do. And so sometimes the constraints can create this side of our mindset of becoming and trying to be as much efficient as possible. But then so how to apply constraints in your life in certain areas so to boost your creativity. So set your own limits. Artificial constraint, you can create so self-imposed restrictions such as time limits on projects or a cap on budget and resources. So example, challenge yourself to develop idea or prototype within a set time frame. This can so simulate a high pressure environment that breeds innovation. Reframe the problem. Instead of focusing of what you lack, shift your mindset to what you already have. So list out the resources at your disposal and brainstorm ways to combine them creatively to solve your problem, instead of just focusing in how you can grasp more. Focusing on what you have and try to use it as best as possible. Embrace minimalism, so reduce unnecessary elements in your project. Ask what is truly essential, so it's like first principles thinking. In design, start with a minimal set of features and gradually build upon them, ensuring so every addition adds real value. And obviously so other things that we've talked about that helps you to have more creativity is you kind of do a mix with other knowledges that are so coming from other areas other than just the one that you got expertise. So work with people from diverse backgrounds to gain different perspectives, and constraints in one field might be overcome by insights from other. action tip is join so cross-functional teams or creative workshops that encourage collaboration under tight constraints. And obviously, in a world that you mainly do things in order to others to experiment, and mainly in jobs, in business, and then so you expect the feedback that's positive, so people buy, giving you money. The reality is as much less so you spend doing a thing, and so it's something that's ideal because what? Because obviously we don't want to spend what we're trying to accumulate. And then so if we quickly understand if people like or not what I'm producing, as much as possible, we should so iterate rapidly as we can, and then so use constraints to get quick prototyping and testing. Embrace failures as learning opportunities to refine your idea, not putting that much of time and effort just like to produce the optimal idea. Create like an MVP and put so people to test and then so refine over the time. Then so I expect this video has helped you to create certain insights on you, and I expect you now to as well to help me by subscribing and afterwards seeing other videos. So see you in the next one.